Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about a very strategic decision making framework that is SPADE. Okay. This is a comprehensive decision making system for difficult choices developed by Square to ensure clarity, accountability and velocity for the projects. So why a framework? Difficult decisions are high stakes, controversial and prone to groupthink. SPADE defines complexity and accelerate outcomes. At the end of the result, you need outcome that the project should have the right outcomes delivered, and so such frameworks are built by organizations to speed and quality. So the SPADE philosophy. The system is designed for important decisions, those that could make or break a project. It assumes that a fast, high quality choice is better than endless deliberations. By defining roles and setting up fronts, teams avoid the kombucha scale of low importance, low urgency, and endless of debates. So you have already might be seen like nowadays this is not into practice, but earlier it was like there were a lot of thinkings, debates and things going on to that delays the project, doesn't leads to the right decision to take place for a project, that how to move things further. So that the SPADE comes into play, which was another strategic framework that was developed for speed and quality. So what is SPADE? Let's break it down. S is for setting, what and when. Precisely define the choice, avoid ambiguity. Calendar and exact timeline, explain why it takes that long and how it impacts the project. Why? Define the value of the choice. What are you optimizing for? Market share over revenue. Establishing the why creates a context for evaluating all future alternatives. So you need to precisely, like S is for setting up the base, like you need to have a precisely define the choice, like any ambiguity should be avoided, which path you are going for. Then comes when the calendar and exact timeline, setting the deadlines for the project is very important, and how it impacts, why it takes that long. Let's suppose a login page needs to be built in the 5 days, so why it is taking 5 days to build a login page or for a project, okay, for a website you can say. So you need to define all those things and how it impacts the project, like the impact for implementation of that particular feature. And then why comes into the play, like what, define the value of the choice, like whatever you have chosen for to implement in the project, how it define the value, and what are you optimizing, because establishing the why creates a context for evaluating all future alternatives. So P is for people, okay. Responsible approver consultant comes all into P. Accountability, like responsible accountable owner, approver checks and balances, a consultant is an active participant. So responsible, the single person who makes the call and owns success execution. Approver vetoes the quality of process, not the choice itself, used sparingly. Mostly it was approver would be in the VP of the team, director of the teams. And consultant is providing input, feedback, analysis, identified by name. So these are active participants who, if you are having the consultants in your, like there are a lot of management consultants, project consultants nowadays in those organizations that uses SPADE framework to deliver the outcomes. So basically the main spearheading comes to the responsible person, who is the accountable owner, who makes the call and owns success and execution, right? A is for alternatives. Option must be realistic and grounded in existing capabilities. Alternatives should not be microvariants, they must represent different worldviews. Comprehensive, the set should cover the entire problem space without bias. So let's suppose you are having an e-commerce platform where you are going to provide a feature. Okay. Let's suppose you are having two fields for prices. One is for MRP and one is for selling price. So you define a criteria that the MRP should be always greater than the selling price in your platform. So think of yourself only, is this uh, thing feasible, first of all, right? Is this not a bias? No, it's not, it is not a bias. it is covering the entire problem space, because MRP should be greater than the selling price, and it's a normal general known fact. So that if you are, so this was just a simple example to explain the concept. In case if there are any other alternatives to handle this thing to implement on the platform, that comes into play. Evaluating alternatives. So let's suppose for a thing you are having three alternatives, A, B, and C. So the responsible person has to weigh these diverse views against the Y established in the setting phase. So let's go to the setting phase in the back. Here you have defined the value of the choice. What are you optimizing for? Let's suppose market share over revenue. Establishing the why creates a context for evaluating all future alternatives. So why you are implementing a feature, that should be a clear choice, like why you are optimizing that feature. Then only you will be evaluate the alternatives, that what needs to be implemented. Once you are done, then only you can go with any of the alternative, like growth index is 85, stability index 60, speed to market 45. So what, then only you comes to play that how you can evaluate. Then D is for decide. Private feedback loop. Gather consultants to review alternatives. Crucially, ask for their votes privately via email, Slack, or Google Forms to avoid group thinking. Private voting allows participants to be honest about controversial choices, ensuring the decision maker hears unfiltered truth. So you can basically roll out a form, create a Google form for implementing whatever you are going to implement, placing all the alternatives, and asking your consultants to provide their reviews and feedback, and select the alternative which they find as best fit. So based on that, you can have an analysis that why people are selecting which alternative and where to. Then comes the final decision, ownership of the choice. The decision maker reviews private votes, evaluates information thoughtfully, and chooses one alternative. At the end, the decision is left with the ownership, the decision maker. Then they write out is in as much detail as possible why they choose it. This record serves as a source of truth for the organization, right? Whatever alternative has been chosen to implement, whatever, like let's suppose there is one single task that can be implemented through three possible approaches. So if there are three possible approaches, so which approach is much more easy to implement, which approach is for longer stability for the platform, which approach is best for the platform, for the clients, for other things. So keeping all things, all these things, the reviewers will have put the reviews, the consultants, then the ownership comes to the place, and all these whichever alternatives is has been chosen, that needs to be properly break down into that document. Like you can you can create a document for this thing, and it will be remain as a source of truth for the organization. E is for explain, articulate, commit, broadcast. Explain the reasoning and anticipated impact. Why, right? Commit, convene a meeting where consultants pledge support aloud. Broadcast, send a one-page summary to the entire relevant team. Okay, this is the last step for SPADE framework, where E is for explain, like why the following alternative has been chosen to be implemented, what are the best impact, why it has been chosen, why, what impact does it bring to the organization, what value it delivers. Convene a meeting where consultant pledge support aloud. Create have a group meeting and get the support from the consultant that this alternative has been chosen, so that it's properly in the knowledge of everyone. Then broadcast, like you need to send up one page summary to the entire relevant team who will be having, who will be working on that project. So the impact of a SPADE is 2 times the decision velocity, 100% ownership clarity, and ambiguous rules. By replacing consensus with accountability, Square discovered that high quality decisions can be made in hours, not days. So like this, you are learning the SPADE concept merely in 10 minutes, and you can implement it also. You can start creating a framework, in case if you are requiring any templates or something, you can surely write down in the comments. I will get with the most updated template that you can use for SPADE, Rapid, Racy, anything. Okay, so high quality decisions making can be made in hours, not days, and high quality learning can be done in minutes, not days, right? You can implement the SPADE into your organization and help me know. So in case of you have any questions or something, you can surely reach out to me uh, through the comments, through my mail, and I'll surely get back to you with the best answers, best approaches. In case if you have any queries, questions in your mind, or you need any documentations of the learnings, please surely reach out to me. And at last, I would request, please like, share and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. And happy learning. Thank you.